You ain't doing nothing. You want to go with a mango? Yeah, I want to go where the mango. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
I feel like for 5 years I've been studying religion. I grew up Christian, and Islam is something that I started studying maybe 4 years ago.
Gotcha.
Started studying Arabic 3 years ago.
Oh, you're well learned.
I'm working on it.
Nice.
But really in the last year I've been focusing more.
A little bit loud, but go ahead.
I've been focusing more on Islam itself.
Nice.
So I guess I was sitting over there thinking of what I would want to ask you, and there's one question that I've learned about within Christianity, but not as much within Islam.
Okay.
And it would be, well, first of all, I should ask, within Islam, God would be all-powerful. Allah would be all-powerful.
All capable.
And all good.
All good.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what is the Islamic explanation for the existence of evil or pain for innocence, like, say, a child?
I got you.
Yeah.
So this life is a test, right? So for example, when you go and take a test at a university, that test is meant to be difficult, right? Now, imagine you go to a university and they start the test, right? Mm-hmm. And right when they start, they tell you, you know what, you're done. You get an A, here's your test. You don't have to answer any more questions. Go ahead and go. Would you be happy or upset?
No. I'd be upset because that's not the way to structure an education.
Right? But again, so let's walk through that, right?
Yeah.
So you already studied, you got that knowledge already. Now your test, you already passed it, right?
Yeah.
Now, once you pass the test, you're successful, right?
Yes.
So this life is a test.
Yep.
Somebody's test is 5 minutes. A child is born, they die in 5 minutes. That's their test. Every child that dies under puberty goes to heaven, right?
Is that stated in a hadith?
Yes,
or in the Quran?
Yes. In the Quran, in a hadith, we have all kinds of literature that explains this concept.
Yep.
But I'll give you one hadith just to be clear.
Yep.
The Prophet _Allah said that he saw Abraham, with the children of the polytheists in paradise. So the Sahaba, they asked, what are those children going to enter paradise? He said yes, because they died under puberty, even though they were raised worshipping other than Allah. But because they were under puberty and they didn't know right from wrong, Allah does not judge them for what they don't know. So if there is suffering in this world, that's a part of why the world exists, to test us how we will react. And everybody's test is different. Some people, their test is money. Like, you may not realize it, but that's a test. Yep. You get money, you start doing wrong things, you get away from the good. Many people that are poor, they stay on the good, right? That's a mercy of Allah on them. Some people, they forget about God, they forget about being good, they forget about the hungry and the needy until they get cancer. Yep. And then boom, it wakes them up. So that cancer is actually good for them, right? So this life is a test. You're going to go through hardship, you're going to go through ease. Everybody's test is going to be different. But Allah is all fair, all just, all merciful, all good. When the test is done, if you were a child and you got cancer and you died, you go to paradise, that test, you won't even remember it. That's how minute this life is compared to the hereafter.
I understand that, and I agree with the argument for people like us that are capable of reasoning.
Right.
But for children, I just have a difficult time understanding it, because if they're not able to reason, then what's the point of the test for them?
I got you.
So they learn in that.
So that was the point of the example that I was giving, right? Meaning a child that dies from cancer never had to go through the test, because before puberty he already enters paradise, right? If he enters paradise, he's done, right? He will enjoy the rest of his life, right?
Yes.
So like when I take a test in a university, if I get done early and I put it away and I get that good grade, I'm happy. I'm done, right? So a child that goes through that hardship, he enters paradise from it. That was the end goal, right? I'll give you an example from the Quran itself, right? Allah talks about in Surah Al-Kahf about Khidr and Musa, right? Now Musa is a prophet, and Khidr, either a prophet or a close friend of Allah. So they go on a journey, and Musa, he wants to learn from Khidr. Now Khidr does some things Musa doesn't understand, like the questions we're talking about, right? One of them, he kills a child, right? So then Musa is like to Khidr, why'd you kill a child? He said, because his parents were good, right? And this child was going to grow up to be evil. And he was going to even oppress and do wrong and misguide his parents. So Allah, out of his mercy, let that child die young, so that he enters paradise as well, as do the parents, right?
Yeah.
So at times, children dying is a mercy for them, even though we don't see it, like we don't understand it, right?
Yes.
Like when we look at Gaza and Palestine, like we see those children dying, it hurts our hearts, right? But those children are going to paradise, right? Some of those people that may escape and become rich and wealthy, but then get misguided and start worshiping, for example, money, right? And then they go to hell. They're in a worse situation than that child that died on the rubble.
I understand that in the view of paradise and what comes after. Of course, that would be the supreme goal for all people, including for children. How do you explain the suffering that they have while they're on Earth?
Well, again, so that's the whole point. The Earth is a test. So the suffering on Earth purifies you, cleanses you, develops you.
Is the belief in Islam that all suffering is inherently good?
Not necessarily, right?
Okay.
If you are doing evil and you're punished and you suffer, that is an evil suffering, meaning that's a punishment. But if you're not doing anything wrong and you suffer, then that's a good suffering because it elevates your status. The Prophet, peace be upon him, he said in the authentic hadith that nothing befalls a believer, right? But only a believer, right? Except that it's good for him. If he has something good, he praises Allah, he thanks Allah, Allah raises his ranks and gives him more good. But if he has some hardship, his sins are forgiven, his mistakes are forgiven, and if, for example, a child doesn't have sins, his status in paradise is raised up. So all suffering for the good is good, right? But there are evil who will go through punishment, but we don't believe children can ever be evil. Children under bulugh are all good.
Yep, I see. And also disabled people that aren't able to reason.
Exactly.
They're also
the
in that
Prophet
category.
ﷺ said, there is 3 that the pen is lifted. I'm giving you all the evidence for everything I say. It's not my opinion.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, good.
Thank you.
It's authentic hadith where he said the pen is lifted from 3. The child until he hits puberty, meaning that there is no sin upon them. There is no recording of them. Then the insane person or person out of their mental capacity until they gain their sanity or mental awareness. So people that are disabled or types of Down syndrome or types of autism, that's to an extreme where they don't understand right from wrong, they're also forgiven. There's no judgment for them, right? And for the people who are sleeping until they wake, which includes people that, for example, may be in a coma. If you did something while you're sleepwalking and you weren't conscious of it, or if somebody had controlled your mind or something like that, then you're not held accountable for that.
So all people unable to reason in that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. I feel like I better understand now. For most people who are atheists, they might see suffering as inherently bad, but not as something that can teach someone who's capable of reasoning, and so you're viewing it differently.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, if you talk about, like for me, I grew up in a rough life, right? I grew up in gangs and all that kind of stuff, right? And I went through a lot of hardships, right? Today, when I think back about burying some of my friends or times when I was stabbed or something, I realized that made me who I am. And if I hadn't gone through that experience and if I hadn't gone through those sufferings and those hardships, I wouldn't be the person I am, right? Yes. So I thank Allah for it, right? So an atheist doesn't understand the concept of what life's all about, right? If you ask an atheist, what's the purpose of life? What would they tell you? Nothing, right?
Yeah,
they got nothing, right? They wouldn't know.
Unanswerable question.
Exactly, right? So they can't even tell you what's the purpose of life. How can they explain suffering in life? How can they explain the miracle of childbirth? How can they explain the miracle of how the sun and the moon and the atmosphere and oxygen, carbon dioxide, all that works, right?
They struggle.
They struggle, right?
And I grew up for much of my life, including the time I was in college, I didn't have a strong faith in God. So
right.
Of course, the world is very confusing with that perspective.
It is, right?
May I ask you one more question?
Please, ask away.
Related but separate. Okay, God is all-powerful, but there also exists, frequently mentioned in the Quran, Satan.
Yes.
What is the relationship between God and Satan, the power God has over Satan?
Excellent. God is all-powerful over Satan. Satan has no power of his own. He's only a test, right? He's only there to whisper, to see who's going to stay true and who's going to fall. We don't believe, like some of the Christians believe, that the Satan is going to rule hell, right? Satan is going to be punished in hell, right? We don't believe Satan and God fight. God is all-powerful. Satan has no power, right?
Yep.
When God created Adam, Satan was not happy about it because he was a jinn, right? He was a different creation, right?
Yes.
So he respectfully told God that why would you create this creation who's going to cause issues, and we're here for you, right? God told them, like, I know what you don't know, right? So this Satan, he rebelled, right? Because jinns and humans have ability to choose. Angels, they just do what they're ordered, right?
Okay.
They don't do evil.
So he was one of the jinn.
He was a jinn.
At that time in creation. So were angels and the jinn created before humans?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Satan refused to bow, right?
He refused to bow.
Submit. Then what happens?
So then he asks Allah for time till the day of judgment to prove that humans are not worthy. So Allah tells him, look, I will allow you to have this time to be a test, right? I'll give you an example, right? Let's say this is a human example just to understand, right? Let's say I run a dojo, right? And I want to give you a black belt in BJJ. And one of my students comes and says, you know what? This guy's not deserving of it. And I tell him, all right, you guys grapple. Let's see what happens, right? So here, Allah, the Creator, knew humans have good in them. He knew that some will be evil, right? He knows everything. But he knew generally humans are good. And that's true, right? So here he said, okay, look, I know what you don't know. But when the devil refused to bow, Allah gave him that opportunity to test humans, right? And whoever fails and follows him, like we're in New York, there's a lot of people out here worshiping money, that they don't care about what happens to the world, they don't care about what happens to the planet, they don't care about what happens to children in Palestine, they don't care about any of that, they just worry about dollars, right? Yes. If they can sell weapons to a genocidal maniac, they'll do it, right? Yep. So now, those people that worship the devil and follow his ways will be punished in hell with him, right? But those people that take a stand, they worship none but Allah, they try their best, even with their shortcomings, Allah will enter them into Jannah, and the Satan will see that those humans were good.
So within this view, Allah allows Satan to exist.
Yes.
Allows Satan to attempt to test humans.
Yes.
So does evil then come from Satan but is allowed by...
So evil, look, all Satan can do is whisper. Right?
It's like a temptation.
It's a temptation, right? On the day of judgment, there's hadith on this, where the people will blame Satan. And Satan will say, look, I just whispered it to you. I didn't make you.
Because he's only a jinn.
And he's a jinn. And he will say, I fear Allah. Right? Satan himself doesn't claim to be God or powerful. No. Like Satan tempts you to try to make you look bad in front of your Creator. But it's your choice to obey or don't. Right? So evil comes from us. We make those mistakes. But Allah guides us towards the truth. Allah brought you here today. Right? It's not an accident. I'm from San Diego, right? Yep. I came all the way to New York. Allah brought you. You were sitting, you were looking at us.
Welcome to New York.
Thank you. Good to be here. See, you didn't have to be standing with us, right? You could be right now smoking some weed. You could be drinking. But instead, you're having this good conversation. Yes. So when you make the right choices, Allah guides you. Allah protects you. Allah raises your ranks. Allah forgives you, right? Now, if you decide, I don't care about anything. I just want to live it up. I'm going to worship the devil. I'm going to worship whatever. I'm going to worship money. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I don't care if I got to go to Diddy parties or whatever. Then that's your choice, right? Don't blame Allah for it, right? And even Satan himself, he can't force you to it, right? He's just a test, right? Just like, I don't know if you have kids, right?
I do not.
All right, I got kids. That's my son right there, and I got one more son, and I got 2 daughters, right?
Congratulations.
Thank you. So when my kids were young, sometimes they tell me, hey, this guy told me to do this. And I would tell them, look, that's him, but it's your choice.
You can choose for yourself.
Exactly. If he tells you jump off a bridge, you're going to jump, right? Yeah. So if somebody tells you jump off a bridge and you jump, you're the moron, right? The guy, whatever he's messing with you or whatever, but it was your choice, right? Satan has no power. He is only a temptation. Allah has all the power.
I see. Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah. No, thank you so much for the answer.
So what about yourself in your journey? You believe in God now?
I've been speaking with my friends about this for a long time now, and I have studied many different arguments about the existence of God. I've studied all sorts of different philosophers. I personally didn't find any of those arguments convincing enough.
All right.
So now I'm at the point in which I want to attempt practicing
a
good faith.
Let me show you one thing real quick.
Yeah.
How you doing, Habibi? How you doing? Sadiq, can you get my blue Quran? It's in the Chumi bag. It's on the right side of blue Quran. Oh, Jazakallah.
I want to see whether there is something that I could experience through opening myself up to.
I got you. Relax. Yeah, this is my Quran, yeah? You have a Quran?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. So you can look these verses up when you get home, right? But I just want to show it to you, right? This is Surah Anbiya in the Quran. It's the 21st chapter.
Yep.
This is verse number 33, okay? It says, and it is He who created the night and the day, the sun and the moon, all the heavenly bodies in an orbit are swimming, right? The fact that the sun and the moon and all the planets have an orbit was something unknown to the Arabs of the time, right?
I've studied all of these different scientific miracles in the
Okay,
Quran, and
good.
they are beautiful and they're convincing.
Nice.
And there are a number of them that
I've got all these marked up. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
and I've studied those. I've been looking at them for the last, few
But
months.
what I'm saying is,
Yes.
can a man in a desert who cannot read or write know the sun has an orbit, right? Like the moon's orbit, like again, so just to be, I don't know, like when you see the sun go across the sky, that's not the orbit of the sun, right? That is the earth rotating, from what scientists tell us, So the orbit of the sun is not around the earth. It is a very, very slow orbit around the center of the galaxy, right? According to scientists, right? The Hubble telescope found traces and things of movement and so on, right? So until then, we didn't know that as humanity, right? But when the Quran says,
use a verse?
yeah, sure, go for it.
Right. Okay.
Beautiful, right?
It's always beautiful.
Yeah, so now think about that. How can a man in the desert who cannot read or write, who's never studied astronomy, hasn't read the Greek works, hasn't read Roman writings, couldn't even read Arabic, right? Let alone Greek and Latin and stuff, right? How could he know that?
Yeah, that's always the incredible thing about studying the Quran.
Yes.
The better my Arabic gets, and the better I'm able to read the Quran in the original language.
It's beautiful.
The closer I.
And if you want an experience, inshallah, when you take your Shahada, I'll take you with me. We'll go to Mecca. It'll be the most spiritual experience you'll ever had.
And what's your name again?
My name's Uthman.
Uthman.
Uthman ibn Farouk. Uthman's good enough. Yeah. Good to see you.
David.
Good to see you, David. Thank you.
So much for your time.
No pressure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
We as Muslims don't pressure people. So take your time, be on your journey, but don't take too long. When you're ready,
I know.
We're here for your
working on
Shahada.
it. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you so much,
Thank you
David.
so
Great
much.
conversation. So as Muslims, we believe in only one God. Does that make sense? We don't worship people. We don't worship idols. We don't worship prophets. We don't worship stones. We don't worship saints. We don't worship graves. We only worship the one creator that created everything. The one that created the sky, the one that created the earth, the one that created all of us, that loves us, that wants us to be on the right path. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
All right, good. And we believe in the prophets like Abraham, Moses, Jesus, Muhammad. We believe those are prophets sent by God to guide mankind. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
You believe that? All right, you're already there. So let's do your Shahada. You'll be Muslim. All right, so to be Muslim, we say the testimony, okay? So say it with me. Say, I bear witness.
I have dyslexic, so I
No problem. Take your time. Stutter all you want. Allah knows your heart. Don't worry. Say, I bear witness.
I bear witness.
There is none
There is none
worthy
worthy
of worship
of worship
except Allah. Except
except
Allah.
Allah.
Beautiful. And you're with me. I got you. And I bear witness.
And I bear witness
Muhammad is the servant
is the servant
and messenger
and messenger
of Allah.
of God.
That's it. Allahu Akbar. You're Muslim. All right. No, you were doing it excellent. We're going to do it in Arabic. I'm going to take it slowly. You just say it with me, okay? Say, Ashhadu. Ashhadu.
Ashhadu
Excellent. You said it wonderful. An la
an
ilaha illallah. Allah. Perfect. And say, Ashhadu anna Muhammada Rasul Allah. Allahu Akbar. That was beautiful. You're Muslim. You have the belief. This is the best day of your life. Your entire past, the sins are forgiven. It's like a new day for you. All right? We're going to give you some books. Are you in New York? Which borough are you at?
Manhattan.
Manhattan. Okay, we're gonna get you the close mosques, and we're gonna have people keep up. You're our sister. 1.8 billion Muslims around the world are your brothers and sisters today. All right.